Hey, good evening. We're going to get going. My name is Jarrin Jackson, and I love America. I am the America First candidate for the Republican runoff, August 23rd, Oklahoma State Senate District Number 2. You can call me anytime, 918-845-9555. That is this phone right here. If you're a voter in district, you got a comment, question, concern, you can get a hold of me. Many people have done that. More and more people are doing that. I do this every evening at 7 p.m. to give a recap of the campaign, to talk about stuff that I will do for you or to serve you as a state senator in the Oklahoma State Senate. I want to be very clear. I've never taken any PAC money. I am the one candidate that doesn't have hundreds of thousands of dollars of special interests and lobbyists and PAC money coming in for me, and that's great because we don't want the swamp. We don't need the swamp. We want to drain the swamp. We do not want corruption. Last admin note, anytime that you see campaign literature, if it does not say paid for and authorized by Jarrin Jackson 2022, if it doesn't say the candidates committee, then it's swamp money. If it doesn't say Jarrin Jackson 2022, or if it doesn't say the other candidate 2022, then it is swamp money. The swamp is full of Democrats. The swamp is full of rhinos. The swamp is full of corrupt people that want to propagandize you, steal your money. They want the gravy train going, and this is why the country is the way that it is, because people in power profit off of you. They exploit you. I want to talk about a recap. I got into this race because I am a father of small children. I'm a combat veteran, a Bible-believing Christian, and I operate my own businesses. With that, my children saw a cartoon, sexually perverted cartoon. It was directed at them over the internet, and that launched me into this state Senate campaign. People are coming after kids. I don't have to go very far to talk to you about the open borders. I don't have to go try very hard to talk to you about inflation or high gas prices, the fact that we're limited in what we can do from an energy independence perspective, the Green New Deal legislation, this horrible, wretched, going to turn America into a third world country. The federal government has done the Inflation Reduction Act, adding 87,000 IRS agents, equipping them with body armor and M4s, having taxpayer money paid for ammunition, and now they're going to come on the prowl and hunt down patriots, according to our Department of Homeland Security. Now that if you fly the Betsy Ross flag, the Gadsden flag, if you talk about the Second Amendment, if you say the oath of office to support and defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that is on the list of suspected domestic violent extremists. We have a double system, a two-tier justice system. I don't like what they did to President Trump. I think it was illegal. I think it's an extra constitutional action. There's so many bad things going on in this country. There's corruption at the top. We've given billions of dollars to Ukraine, but only like 30% of that has actually gotten to the military in Ukraine. Where'd the rest of that money go? And now you want to more than double the IRS? Where do you think they're going to do? Who do you think they're going to come after? And if they can come after President Trump, and the latest rumor is that Eric Holder, the person that was gun running Fast and Furious, is going to say and speculating that President Trump is going to be indicted, all because they don't want him in office. If the federal government is doing that to President Trump, what do you think they're going to do to you? What do you think that they would do to you if you're in that position? This state Senate race has national implications, because this is the time for state sovereignty. This is the time that states look at the Constitution, and we recognize the 9th and the 10th Amendment retain a lot of power and a lot of authority to the states. We do not have leaders that are bold and outspoken and will take the hits from the Soros fake news. They will take the hits from these corrupt political action committees or these overzealous lobbyists that pilfer your money and put in their pocket to advance some special interest that's not we the people, that's someone who's part of a big corporation. Media, the military industrial complex, the very few people that own all of these media conglomerates. The corruption is run rampant. And in Oklahoma, it's no different. Oklahoma is a very corrupt state. We've got corruption all over the place. We've got it at the city level, the county level, the state level. You know about it at the federal level. Everybody knows our country is full of corrupt politicians. It's full of a corrupt deep state. These bureaucrats that spend their entire careers in positions where they're not held accountable to we the people. We can't vote them out of office. They're career political partisan hacks. Not all of them. Many of them do good jobs, but some of them in critical positions really put the pain of the government on the people, and I think it's horrible. I want to be left alone. I don't want to touch your guns. I want to secure the borders. I want parents to be in charge of education. I want them to have choice. I don't think that these are fringe things. These are common, middle-of-the-road, everyday American issues that everyone agrees with. Everybody knows that the corruption in this country is not good. You can look at my card here. I'm running on securing the border. I'm a pro-American energy, secure the Second Amendment, right? The thing that I like is I don't like China owning a bunch of Oklahoma. 5% of Oklahoma is owned by the communists. You have Chinese adjacent or affiliated businesses, but because they're communists, a Chinese business is the Chinese government. That's how communism works. I want to seize their property. I don't want people to buy the dirt underneath our feet. I don't want illegals to participate or to compete with Americans for jobs. The wage stagnation, the inflation, the increased price for things. I don't like the perversion of children in school. And I think that public school teachers need to get paid better and shouldn't be beholden to these teacher unions that are forcing them to embrace, grown men wearing dresses, dancing around in front of them. I think that's wretched. I think that's evil. I think that's criminal. These are not fringe positions. This is middle of the road position. This is what the Bible teaches. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. The American people are having done to us a level of tyranny and oppression that I don't think the American people like. We look at our election systems. We don't like what happened in 2020. We see states that have cheat machines. We see people that track with algorithms. There's plenty of evidence. It's never been given a fair hearing. The evidence has never gone to court. It's all been dismissed by standing. They're coming after President Trump. If you're like me, you got your head on the swivel, it's not stuck in the sand, then you recognize that things going on in this country aren't good. This state Senate seat gives you the opportunity to put in a fighter, someone that's going to take the hits. I'm already taking the hits from the lies of the Soros fake news. I've already had people defame me, libel me, not because they have nothing else to write, but because they're scared. These corrupt people are pouring all this money in to prop up a candidate who has no support, but they want to buy the seat because, one, they're afraid from me, but two, they got to keep the gravy train running. And that's what this is going on. So again, if you see any campaign literature, this is me and President Trump at Mar-a-Lago. Yes, I was there May 3rd, 2020. If you see any campaign literature, if it doesn't say paid for and authorized Jarrin Jackson 2022, then it's not from me. I don't take PAC money. I don't take lobbyist money. I don't take special interest money. I never have. I never will. There is at this point, over $200,000 and counting outside money coming into this race. I don't need it. I don't want it. We're winning. America first is the message. People want a fighter. People want someone who says they do what they're saying they're going to do. Secure the borders. America first. Leave my kids alone. Don't touch my guns. Use the 9th and the 10th Amendment to go on offense and fight against the federal government tyranny. You need a state senator that's going to sue people. You need a state senator to block bad, corrupt legislation. The reason why these political action committees spend hundreds of thousands of dollars now at this point in this race is because they don't want their legislation being blocked. They want people to keep the gravy train running. You need a state senator that's going to sue bad bills and bad people. You need someone to stop bad bills and bad people. You also need someone to advance good legislation, one that's God-honoring, one that looks at the 9th and the 10th Amendment, and one that recognizes that the federal government is not our boss. The federal government is not our parent, does not tell us what to do. There's lots of other things. We do this every day, 7 p.m. This is my phone, 918-845-9555. You can call it, you can text it, you can message me, give me your ideas. I talk to people all the time. They call me all the time. There's nobody else that has this level of transparency. What other political candidate have you ever had that does a live stream, straight, unscripted, and puts his phone out there? 918-845-9555. Do we have any, someone just said I can put a yard sign up. Okay, thank you. I'll actually go do that tonight. The person that just texted me. I'll go do that after this. So let me send that to myself. 918-845-9555. 918-845-9555 gets you with me. You can talk right here. We'll talk about whatever. If you want to help this campaign, you got to be an American citizen, got to be 18 years old or over. My average donation is $37. I have over 2,000 small dollar donors because the American people support candidates like myself. They support people who believe the gospel of Jesus Christ, his death, his burial, his resurrection as the only way to go to heaven. That's according to the scriptures. That's my faith. I would encourage you to believe it, but the government should never compel you to believe it. I think we need to talk about the gospel more. We need to talk about Jesus more. We need to build our ideas off of Scripture because it is God's inspired word, not some other man's opinion, not someone who believes that you can change your pronouns or demand preferred language. Right? We need to get back to basics. I don't think this is wrong. I think this is good. I think this is how you have a prosperous society. I think this is how you have a safe society. And I think that if you have children, not everyone has kids, I get that. But if you have kids, if you have grandkids, you're going to want your kids to grow up in a climate that's not perverted. You're going to want your kids to grow up not having to worry about if they're going to come home and tell you that their name is no longer Frank, that it's Francine. You're going to want a climate where your kids are going to be taught to do stuff with their hands like welding or pipe fitting or butchering cattle or learning how to grow things or work on a car. Learning how to build a business, taking risks, understanding that they should be rewarded for the use of their resources, the use of their talents, and not punished for their productivity. That's why I want to get rid of the income tax. A lot of these outside corrupt swamp Democrat politician-y PACs are saying bad things about me because I want to get rid of the income tax. I don't want to do bad things. I want to get rid of the income tax because I want you to keep your own money. That just makes money. That just makes sense. Maybe because these Democrat plant George Soros political action committees are too busy receiving your tax dollars, because that's what's happening. Your tax dollars, you pay your taxes go to the legislature that's full of corrupt people. You got to look into who's running these people, by the way. There's corrupt people at the legislature. They vote your money to go to entities like the Epic Charter Schools. The Epic Charter Schools were ran by people that are now being indicted for embezzlement, racketeering, and other corrupt activities. And Epic Charter Schools has written checks to people that will take that washed taxpayer money and then send it out against their political opponents. The reason why it's only come to the surface after years of this corruption, and the key players that are central to this, they've been doing this for decades, folks. Your tax dollars have for decades been stolen, swindled, and hoodwinked from you, rerouted to line the pockets of the people that are in power or positions of power to do so. And this is why they prop up candidates. This is why hundreds of thousands of dollars come into little old state Senate races. Not because there's the best people ever on the ballot, but because there's people that they know that will be obedient. There's people that they know they can control. And why else would you put $200,000 that's not tied to anyone directly, but in support of a candidate if you did not expect some type of return on that investment. These people know what they're doing. That's why they're investing so heavily. That's also why they don't give anything to me. They've never called me to ask to try to bribe me. I've never had any discussions with these corrupt swampers. I don't want their money. I don't need their money. But they never even tried to bribe me. Something about me just screams to them that I'm not for sale. And that's a good thing because we don't need them. We don't want them. We don't want the corrupt swamp money. But if you're a voter in this district, 918-845-9555. I'm going to get off because I always try to keep it between 15 and 20 minutes. Appreciate your time. Lord willing, we will be back here on Sunday. We'll do it Sunday. We'll do it tomorrow. Again, my name is Jarrin Jackson. I am the America First candidate. You can call me at that number. You can help me out here, jacksonoklahoma.com/donate. I have never taken PAC money. I don't take lobbyist money. I don't take special interest money. My opponent is over $200,000 of special interest money is pouring into the district to make sure that the people who really love corruption get the person they want. You should know that. Whenever you look at these right here, it's all about that. Paid for by Jarrin Jackson 2022. This is from my campaign. If you get something that says paid for by somebody else, that means that's swamp money. If it doesn't come from the candidate or the candidate committee, it's swamp money. It's swamp money. These swampers are Democrats. They want to undermine America, and this is how they do it. They propagandize with washed taxpayer dollars through corrupt entities that you don't know, you've never heard from, you don't know where they're from, and they do it because they want to lie to you, because they want to keep you deceived. Lots of corruption, folks. I say we go right at it. I want to secure the borders. I'm an America First guy. Leave my kids alone. Secure the guns. Amen. Just leave me alone. They wouldn't leave me alone. I'm in this race because the government wouldn't leave me alone. I've served my country, 2-time combat deployments, two combat deployments, former infantry officer, West Point graduate, 2 Bronze Stars. I've evacuated over 30 soldiers from direct fire combat injury. I've lost soldiers in combat. I've lost friends in combat. I know what it's like to lead soldiers. I know what it's like to start a business, build a business, grow a business. I've never been given a business. Got one wife, never divorced. Amen. Ephesians chapter 5. 3 kids. We homeschool. I want school choice. Mostly just want to be left alone. I want to defend the Constitution. Just want people to live their lives. And there's too much corruption. They're not going to let it do. They're not going to let that happen. They're going after President Trump at the federal level. They're expanding their tentacles to make it to where they can continue to do it. And it's even happening here at our state level. And whenever we have more time, it's even happening at the county level and the city level. It's everywhere, folks. I am not we are going to go after this corruption. You need a fighter. You need America First person. That's me. My name is Jarrin Jackson. Name is on the ballot, August 23rd. Again, 918-845-9555. Appreciate your time. God bless you. Lord willing, we'll be back tomorrow. Have a good night.